Good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to a rather wet and windy Mildenhall. That's the weather outside, it's not actually the weather in here. And today I have got a massive layout update for you. I know I said this last time, but this is just as big. So we're going to get straight to it, and there's so much to talk about, so we're just going to jump straight in and just get on with it. So, stay tuned. So, before I break this video up into little bits and pieces and segments, I just thought I'd give you a brief overview of the layout as things stand. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. See if I get this right. Just so we can have a good look at the layout as a whole before we start getting into all the nitty gritty of it. Now, the last time we looked at this layout, it was covered in matchsticks, and basically a lot of the matchsticks have disappeared as everything has been covered over and filled. We still got bits to do, and like I said, I'll get through that as we go through the various areas. And not only have we had the filler's been done, which has been a very laborious task, we've also had new additions, updates, and also, since I'm down this side, I'm going to show you we have a new extension to the layout, and that extension is just along the back of the layout. As you can probably see, there is a strip of wood running along there, all the way along the back, just behind the waiting room there, and that is to allow an extra platform to go in there. So we'll have platforms 1, 2 and 3 now. We have not started work on platform 3 as of yet. As you can probably see, there has been a lot of work just here alone. So let's get into the various bits and pieces and just take a closer look. So we start here at the far end, and as you can see, I've started doing the hillside and mod rocking that, but I haven't finished because I've run out of mod rock on that side. And also there's a little bit left to do, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do in that corner over there, which is right down the far end there, that bit there, and that black bit just in front of the coaches. But I know I've worked out what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little taxi rank over there, and that's going to go into that corner next to the station. If I zoom you back out, you can see that I've also done the roads. That has been a really laborious job. It's been a very difficult job because it's all about getting the mixture right. It's all about waiting for the drying time. It's all about how you apply it and how you get the road roughly as smooth as possible. And as you can probably see, it's not perfect by any stretch of imagination. I mean, I didn't want it perfect anyway, because I did want the textures, but let's just see if we can have a little nosy at the road itself. You can see that there's some bumps and lumps, and there's quite a few defects in the road, but nonetheless, it's kind of how I wanted it. You've then got this bit which I've done today, and this was it's just so tedious, this job, which is I did the paving, and this isn't Metcalfe paving, this is just scrap cards that I've had, and basically I've just cut it into little bits and pieces to make a pavement and a walkway. And I think if we go, I don't know if we can go further up. Yeah, we'll go higher. Let's go higher. We'll crank you up a bit. And you can see I've done the station. I've just run out of paint there, so all that's got to be painted. I've got the paint for it now, so I'm going to do that this evening. That will give us the paving. And that paving is explained. And all of that paving, as you can see, is just itty bits. It's exactly the same as Metcalfe paving. Except it's just, like I said, it's just scrap cards that I've had that I've just literally cut to make the paving. And it saves me having to spend the money on the Metcalfe stuff, which, to be fair, I wasn't really particularly impressed with when I bought it the first time round. So it claimed to be self-adhesive, but it never stuck. So to be honest with you, I might as well just make my own. As you can see, that's done. At the back, the pink strip, that's for the buses, but that needs another layer. So if actually this is probably a good view to show you where we're at in the various stages. So the middle bit, which is a dark grey, is basically finished. The middle bit is also finished, except the middle bit, the light grey, that's actually just the filler mixed in with paint. Whereas this one in the middle, the road has actually been painted. It was filled originally with various shades of grey, but what I'll do is I'll stick some shots on the end of the video of the various stages of the pictures that I have, and you'll see what I mean. I had so many different shades of grey, some were lighter, some were darker, that what I decided to do is just paint this, give it a bit of uniformity so it looks the same all the way through, and then any other greys that come through from underneath, or when I sand it or whatever, or if it gets chipped, it's just going to be grey underneath anyway. So it was just basically to try and give it some uniformity, because this bit here, where the Eddie Stobart lorry is, was actually supposed to be, if you remember, I was actually going to put the pub here. That was what I was going to do. I was going to put the pub there like that and have a car park. But I decided against that, because as I was going through some of the pictures through Millbrook, which is Freightliner Container Terminal, which is where we'll be going tomorrow. So there'll be a video on that tomorrow. There was a section where there was the lorries parked up, and I wanted to do the container terminal some justice. So it had to make sense. I've always said in all my videos that whatever goes on here needs to be on here for a reason, and not just for the sake of being here. And basically that's what that is for. You got the porter cabin here, where it's the reception, where the lorries come draw up to that line. They stop there, like I showed you the other day, pop into the office, say I'm here to deliver or collect or whatever, go to the various places. When they're waiting their deliveries or waiting to go or having their break before they carry on, they can park their lorries there. If you move over here, the crane will be there ready to load that particular lorry with a container when we do get one. That container is just there just to sort of show you where the containers will be stored, and that's kind of like a marked out area. So there's a reason why all these bits are here, and I realised afterwards when I was doing this that actually the lorries didn't have anywhere to park. It's literally just come in and go straight out. So I wanted to give them somewhere to park, which is why I've allocated this space here for them. I'm going to put some greenery on this bit, and then after we're going to have all the high security fencing all the way round, and like I said, the middle part of the layout is actually not too far off being done. And I'm going to see if I can get you higher up, so you can try and get you closer to the back edge. So bear with me a minute. So as you can see along the back there, that is all just tiny individual slabs just stuck on, and that has been a really, really boring task. I've been on it for about 2 or 3 hours this morning doing it, just to do that bit there, this bit here, and then all the way, just that little bit there. It's taken me about 3 hours, 2-3 hours to do that. And it's been it's not a difficult job, it's just boring, but it just takes a lot of time. But once it's all painted up, it should look okay. Now that pink strip on the back has only had one coat of filler, and once again all I've done is I've mixed in the colour that I want into the filler, and then basically mixed it through, and then after applied it and let it set, and that's what I've done. But like I said, on this section here, because it was such a big area to cover, I was actually just putting filler down in small sections, and I can never get quite right all the greys, all the various shades. Let's just do that, see if it all, it's gone all. Let's see if it was. Yeah, there we go. Right. Take a bit of time. Yeah, so from an overall point of view, if I just let me see if I can zoom out quite a bit, you can sort of get a bird's eye view of the layout. That's probably quite a good thing to do. So the whole middle section of the layout is not actually too far off done. Spin you around, and like I said, all the matchsticks is just the guide, and what happens is then when I sand it through, all the matchsticks show all the way around, all the road markings, so it's easier to paint and to work out where everything goes. So I've really, it's been good, and I think it looks really effective as well, so I'm really pleased with this. So as we come further down, you can see I've applied some road markings just along here, and I'm going to put some cones around here, just around the outside edge. And you can also sort of see where the extension is just on the back. It's just 4 inches all the way along, and that will give me another platform there, so that'll be platform 3. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the pink down the back, that strip is looking pretty rough at the moment, and that's because it's had the first coat and it needs the second coat just to smooth it out, and then afterwards you just sand it off, and then after hopefully it'll be more or less like the rest of it. So that's what how that's turning out. Like I said, it's not going to be too long now, but like I said, it's taken a lot of time, all of this, so we're getting there. And it's also a messy job, so if you feel like you'd like to try and tackle this, that's why there's no trains running. There hasn't been any trains running for the last week. I've literally just put these vehicles and bits and pieces on the layout just to give you a rough idea of where things are going and where things are at. So yesterday, I took a trip to see Gary over at Cheeky Tech, and in all the time I've seen him and known him, I've never actually been to his layout, and I've never actually gone to visit him, which is shame on me, really. He's been here a few times, and we've met on a number of occasions, and we get on really well together. And whilst I was there, he kindly gave me a load of bits and pieces for my layout, which I'm really, really pleased with. So I'm just going to quickly go through with you what he's actually given me. And if we zoom in a bit, those two bits there, the Eddie Stobart lorry and the Metroline bus at the back, were two vehicles that he gave me. Actually, he gave me 3. The other one I've just got, which I can't get off the stand, I don't know, because I think it's screwed in. I haven't been able to get it off the stand yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get through it. It's a heritage bus as well, but I'll show you that in a jiffy. So I was really, really pleased with that. And if that, like I said, wasn't enough, he also gave me, like I said, the heritage vehicle just there, and which I haven't got off the stand yet. He also, if I just spin you around, gave me that IOA wagon, that Network Crowd one. So I've got 4, I now have 5. So that's really, really cool. So I'm really, really happy with that. And if that wasn't enough, he also gave me the waiting room, the yellow one. It hasn't had the treatment yet, as the one on the back has, but that will receive that similar treatment or same treatment in due course. And if that wasn't enough either, he's given me, I'll show you what he's given me. Ooh, we're gonna go down. Going down. We're going to zoom out as well. So he gave me a rake of 5 Mark II coaches, which he resprayed and repainted himself, which I'm really, really pleased with actually. He had his own thoughts, to be fair, but I actually really love them, and I'm going to run them. But at the moment, like I said, there's no trains running because of all the mess and the dust and everything that's been kicked up through all the filler and the sanding. So I've now got 5, there's actually 5 of them. You can only see 3, but there's another 2, just one going around the bend, and there's another one just behind that as well. So I'm really, really, really happy with that. So it's really kind of him to do that for me, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much once again, Gary, and having me visit you as well, because that's really, really nice. So you're also looking at my Pullman coach, and I don't know if any of you guys remember, but a little while ago I said that one of my coaches, the name had been rubbed off, and it was supposed to say Sheila, but it had actually been rubbed off and you couldn't read it. So I managed to find a company on eBay that actually do replica signage for the Pullman coaches, just for such a thing. So I contacted him, and actually I bought this signage with it was just a sheet with a number of names on it, and you could also choose your own. And so I decided to name one after myself. So this coach is now called Susanna as opposed to Sheila, which I thought was quite nice. So I'm really happy with that. So at least now that actually looks like it's got a proper name now. And if I just show you, I don't know if it'll pick it up, but you'll get these self-adhesive sheets, and you've got various different names and things like that. So you basically just cut out what you want and just replace it on the coach. So if you do have coaches where you've got rubbed out names and whatever, there is a guy on eBay. He's quite expensive, to be honest, and the service wasn't the best, but I got there eventually. He wasn't like the other guy who's been doing my signage, and he's actually doing my signage for Volmer. That should be with me either tomorrow or the day after, I expect. So that should be on its way to me. So once again, we're coming towards the end of the video here for Mildenhall. And I'd like to say a big massive thank you to Gary for his company and his kindness, and for allowing me to visit Old Oak Bridge, and also for all the gifts that he's kindly given me too. So thank you so much. Thank you, Gary. And I'd also like to thank all of you for watching and taking the time to comment and subscribe and to watch my videos. And now Mildenhall's taken another big leap forward now, because the middle section is almost there. So it's a matter of getting on with the track works and also to do the rest of the container terminal. But we're certainly getting there. It's been very, very laborious this week. Like I said, I haven't been able to go out too much this week except for yesterday really. And so that's just kind of really allowed me to kind of kick on with it, and I'm just sort of milling about at home doing bits and pieces and getting on with this. So by tomorrow, hopefully that pink strip over the far side will be done, and hopefully be able to put some buses on it, and maybe do some more road markings and things like that. But like I said, tomorrow is a day trip out, and you don't want to miss that one, because it's a very special day trip out tomorrow. So I look forward to doing that tomorrow, and like I said, hopefully you guys will be very impressed and a little surprised tomorrow. So until the next time, it's bye from Mildenhall. Goodbye.